Yo, what's going on, everybody? Go back to the channel. As you can see, this is a Sonic Frontiers video. Um, I have not talked about the game since my initial stream, which was the first island slash half of the second island. Since then I've went ahead and beat the game twice. One on normal, which was my initial playthrough, and then one on hard, which is not hard at all except for the final boss. The final boss is pretty tricky. Obviously here I am speedrunning the first island. It's not a perfect speedrun. I think it's about 12 minutes or so, 12 and a half minutes. So not perfect. I do get hit a couple times. But overall, it's a pretty decent kind of start. 38 seconds, by the way, on 1-1 is, at least from what I've seen, not terrible. I know people do it faster, but for the most part, it's pretty solid. But I just kind of want to talk about the game and kind of how amazing this game is and how it kind of just blew me away. On my stream, my initial reaction to the Giganto boss fight was insane. And I'm still listening to the music daily. All the boss themes, the main theme, they're just awesome. I would have never expected Sonic Frontiers to have such an amazing soundtrack. And on top of that, like, I remember there was a rumor that was going around that the main theme was going to be by Pierce the Veil, and obviously that rumor is not true, but instead we got Sleeping with Sirens, which personally I don't really listen to a lot, but I do know that it's kind of a big deal. You know, Sleeping with Sirens, they're pretty popular, and to be able to have their lead singer in a Sonic video game is like some huge clout. So I'm very excited about that. And people have been loving it. I've been seeing memes everywhere on Twitter whenever I do go on there, mostly like on YouTube, and it's great to see that this game is getting a lot of positive feedback. And it's kind of jarring because you see like the bad reviews of this game, and it's kind of like I don't even know how to explain it. It really just shows like the Sonic haters are gonna hate Sonic to try to get the click, but it really feels like it's not working this time. And everybody, at the very most, is saying that this game is a little past mid. That's like the genuine people. That's like the worst I've heard. Is it's a little past mid because it does a lot of things, but not amazingly. But most people have been saying this game is great, greatest Sonic game ever, favorite Sonic game ever. Right? I've been hearing a lot of that. Wouldn't say it's my favorite Sonic game, but this is definitely one of the best ones I've seen in a long time. 10 plus years. For sure, 10 plus years. I mean, when Generations came out, that was like peak Boost formula, and it really hasn't been good since. I mean, I'm not saying Lost World is a terrible game. Lost World does a lot of, Lost World's fun. It's just not perfect. Forces is... I don't even want to talk about it. It's not terrible, but it's just boring. And after games like Boom and Forces and Lost World, it was kind of sucking. And here we are now. And it's like they could have just done this game with like a mediocre story and would have been okay. But the story in this game is just insane. I don't want to spoil anything. The game's still fairly fresh. It's like a week old or something, but the story just kind of blew me away. And it wasn't even really the plot. It was more so the characters and how they characterize everything. And just mind-blowing. Just mind-blowing. And if you have yet to play this game, if you're still on the fence, just do yourself a favor and pick this up on any system. It doesn't matter. Even if you don't have a PS5 or a Series X, get it on Switch, get it on PS4, get it on Xbone. Like, whatever you got to do, play this game, because you're doing yourself a disservice by not playing it. To not experience, like this next generation of like Sonic, because I guarantee you the next game is going to be the same structure. So, anyways, that's kind of my initial opinion on Sonic Frontiers right now. They're already doing DLC with Monster Hunter with Capcom. That's kind of weird, but cool. I'm down. As you can tell, I'm using it in this gameplay. I played Monster Hunter World for like a couple hours, and the game's fun. It's just better with friends, and I don't have any friends, so 1-2. I'm gonna break away from Monster Hunter. 1-2 is trash. I absolutely hate this stage with a burning passion, whether I'm speedrunning or not. You have to become like a professional speedrunner to get the S rank on this as a casual player. I feel bad for people that have never played a Sonic game and they're trying to S rank this level, because it's impossible. It is so hard. I even go like using speedrunner tactics and a slight speedrunner route, and I still didn't even get the S rank. It's so terrible. I am going to talk about some of the tactics that I'm using in the speedrun, because it's really hard to get information on this kind of stuff, I found. There are videos out there, but I just want to kind of put it all together. So in cyberspace, you'll probably notice I'm mashing the boost button. This is the fastest way to go, especially if after you hit a speed boost, like a boost pad or something. It seems that's the best way to maintain your speed, your momentum. In the overworld, that's not the case. So overworld and cyberspace have completely different physics. I don't really know why they did that. I guess to keep you from doing crazy skips and stuff, but it is unfortunate. There are mods for it. I've yet to try those mods out, but they look like a lot of fun. They even get rid of like the homing attack delay, which is really crazy to think about. But for the most part, I did okay on 1-2. Obviously, you're going to want to have max rings for the boost. Earlier during the tower boss fight, I was trying to skip fighting the bottom half and going straight to the actual damage point. I'm having issues with that. That's just more so a lack of skill. But anyways, right here we're going straight to go fight Giganto. So obviously I'm gonna try to there's probably more efficient routes. I'm not going for big fishing tokens in this run, because I'm just trying to beat Kronos Island as fast as possible. In an actual speed run, getting big fishing tokens is like critical. It's very critical, because at least at the current state that the game's at, big fishing is a big part of the last island. So anyways, we're gonna go for a super jump here. Super jump's kind of hard to get a hold of. I think it really depends on a lot of things. It's not really just the timing. I think it's also the camera angle. But here you go. Here's a super jump. The way how you execute it is you're doing a dodge. You log onto an enemy and you do a dodge so that you can do the stop attack, which you unlock with your skill points. Once you execute the stop attack, you boost, and you have to, it's very close, but basically from the stop attack to the boost, you're actually carrying that upward momentum so that you can get over barriers like this, or do certain skips. So here I am, I jumped over the barrier that blocks you from going to the Giganto boss, and now I'm in the Giganto boss area with 0 Chaos Emeralds. Now you just have to find the loading point for Giganto, which it's kind of in the general area that I'm in. I've noticed it's more to the right. But here you are. Now you're fighting Giganto with 0 Chaos Emeralds, 0 anything. In fact, 0 cutscenes. So it's a little jarring, but it's pretty successful. Now, you almost want to copy almost exactly how I did the super jump in this area and go for that little triangle point in that little plateau area or whatever you want to call it, because that's the only spot that I could find that has that split in the barrier up high. So keep that in mind. This is also version 1.01, which is the Monster Hunter DLC. They did patch out, I think, one of the original spots. Giganto boss fight. Biggest tip that I have is keep spamming the stop attack. It's the best thing you got. And just try to keep Phantom Rush. It's hard to, because he does all these weird things that make you lose Phantom Rush, but just know that the longer you can stay in Phantom Rush, the more damage you're gonna do. So it's a pretty simple boss fight. So as you can see, the stomp move gives you a lot of Phantom Rush energy, but then he does stuff like this. When he does this, you're gonna lose your Phantom Rush. So I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, Kronos Island is pretty simple because it's just get through the tutorial and go straight to Giganto with the super jump. It's pretty easy boss fight. Pretty easy island altogether. That's why it's the fastest one. See, so I'm only doing 17 to 1800 damage, but as soon as I get Phantom Rush, now I'm doing 2122, which is a big difference. But then he does this move, and now I'm losing Phantom Rush, so it kind of sucks. But altogether, I mean, this is about to wrap up already. So just to kind of go over conclusions, this game is awesome. Please play it. Please get the clout going even higher than it already is. This boss fight is absolutely insane, and I really hope that people had the chance to experience this for the first time without being spoiled. I did. I never saw this boss fight until I played it, and I'm glad, because that'll be a memory I'll hold forever. Being able to hear this amazing music and fighting this giant boss is supersonic, mind-blowing. The speedruns of this game are already crazy. It's insane. I literally skipped like what took me like 3 hours, 4 hours of my initial playthrough, and I did it in 12 minutes. So with all that being said, I really hope you guys kind of enjoyed this little snapshot of what the speedruns are looking like. It's not the fastest, but it's a pretty decent time, I would say. Here's my current in-game time, which is 12 minutes and 42 seconds. And yeah, with that, I will leave you guys and have a great day later.